right now we're going to go into our Indie Artist Spotlight segment, in which we have Auteria Winzer Jr. with us, and he's going to talk to us about his upcoming Spotlight / now we're going to go into a showcase. We are doing a spinoff and expanding the Spotlight into a showcase. Auteria, how are you today? You've been very quiet.
Yes, ma'am. I have been very quiet today, listening to profound Orphic sagacious dialect on this radio program, and I wanted to soak in what was being said. But thank you for having me on this program again today. It's truly an honor, privilege, and prestigious pleasure to be here with you once again today.
You know, I listened to your song, and you know what? One thing that's in common, well, there's a lot of things that's in common with your song, all good things. But the thing that matters most to me is that your music makes me happy. I cannot explain it, but every time I hear your music, no matter what it is, everything that you create, everything that you put your hands on, it makes me smile. There's quality there that I haven't been seeing, to be honest, lately. I haven't been seeing in a lot of the music that I've been hearing lately, but I'm hearing that nostalgic feeling, that quality is just, it's a message. It's not mumbo jumbo. It's addressing something real. It has a real message, and I like that. So just to let you guys know, let the listeners know that Auteria is working with me on expanding our Spotlight into a showcase. He's going to be the first here on SHEtalk Radio. And one of the reasons that we're here, not just to hear his music, but also for him to talk about the upcoming project that he and I and a part of his team is going to be working on as far as getting his showcase out on July the 19th. So let's get started on talking about the showcase. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Now, when it comes to the Indie Artist Showcase, first of all, I want to spotlight the difference between the Spotlight and the Showcase. The Spotlight is what Auteria has been doing. I think it's about your fourth time here now. And
this is my fourth time, yes.
And with the Spotlight, what the artists get to do is to bring one song. Sometimes I've allowed people to bring two songs, but usually is one song, a finished product, and what they're able to do is to have a 5-minute song, no more than 5 minutes, and then have a 10-minute interview about the song, about their career, futures, and whatever we can fit into that 10 minutes. And then from time to time, if the artist so choose, they can get in on the conversation with whoever our primary person is for the show, whoever our guest is for the show. So if it's something they can contribute to the conversation, we allow them to participate. And Auteria has been here. Auteria, have you enjoyed your experience here as the Spotlight artist for the fourth time?
This has truly been an absolute blessing. My enjoyment, there are really no words that can define nor describe the internal feelings that I've had being on your show from the very first conception, from the first one leading up to this one. Truly, you are a blessing, and you are a motivator, creator, as well as an innovator of creating this type of forum for indie artists to be able to showcase not just their music, but showcase who they are internally as individuals.
Well, I do appreciate it. I am smiling from ear to ear now with that compliment, and now my head is growing by the minute. So
it is what it is, Miss Ruby.
It is what it is. let's talk about the Indie Artist Showcase that you have scheduled for Tuesday, July the 19th. Now, we have some work ahead of us to prepare for this because we are laying the groundwork for future indie artists. So we are going to get this right the first time so that everybody else that's following in our footsteps will be able to benefit from it. Now,
that's right.
Let's start from the beginning. The beginning is we're going to do Auteria's on Tuesday, July the 19th, and it's going to be an hour and a half. As you guys know, normally our show is about an hour, but we're going to give the showcase an hour and a half to give you ample time to be able to show the listeners who you are as a person, who you are as an artist, and then how you're able to relate to the people on your team and working with them, and then also share with us some of your techniques and your interaction with some of your listeners to your music, because, you know, we all have fans. Now, but when we start the showcase after the 19th, we're going to go to Saturdays because SHEtalk is expanding, and we're going to actually, at some point in time, be on every day. And I want to make sure our artists are getting what they need. They need an hour and a half, so we're going to go to Saturdays, okay? Also, what you get with the package is you're going to get 3 pre-recorded interviews merged into the documentary for the live show. Now, Auteria, have you had a chance to think about what 3 people who have influenced your music or who have been a part of your working to get your products out the door? Have you decided which 3 people you're going to include in your interviews?
Absolutely. The 3 individuals I will be including within the 90-minute documentary will be those that were very prominent within the upcoming EP. Those individuals, I will mention their names. Steve Fernandez is the young man that's singing the male lead on Don't Judge the Book by Its Cover, also co-writer. For B is One, Miss Pamela O'Neill and Mr. David Kirkendall, co-writers, as well as myself for B is One will also be the other 2 individuals that will be within the radio interview segment. And those individuals I am including because they were major contributors to the project itself, not just from a professional standpoint, but a personal one as well. Okay,
great. Now, I'm glad you have identified that. Oh, looks like we've just lost you. Hello? I think we just lost him, and he'll be dialing in really soon. While we're waiting on him to call back in, just wanted to let you guys know that one of the reasons why we are doing this is because a lot of times when it comes to an indie artist, it's very, very hard to be able to be at the right place at the right time. And what SHEtalk Radio is doing is enabling you to have a place to go and have your music being heard and being able to package it together to take that package somewhere and to share it to other places. Now, Auteria just got back in. You there, Auteria?
I'm so sorry. Inadvertently got disconnected. Yes.
No problem. I kept it rolling. Okay.
Yes, ma'am, you did.
Let's go on to the next step. The next step is we're going to allow the artist to have 5 to 6 songs played. Have you identified what 5 to 6 songs you're going to have? Now, is this going to be all the songs on your EP? How many do you have on it?
Yes.
6?
I have 6 songs on the EP. All songs will be played. They will be played in the chronological order that will be released to the global distribution public.
Okay.
And there's legitimate reasons why the 6 are in sequential order, and we will discuss those as part of the documentary, why the order is as what it is.
Okay. Now, the reason why we mention that is not just because we want to know how many songs we're going to do, 5 or 6, but also to let you know start thinking about how you want to present your music. Now, some people want to present their music in the order in which they actually created the song or recorded the song. Some people want to their songs tell a story, and so they want that song, the music played in the order in which it tells the story. So it's going to be up to the artist to decide in which order they want to play it. Do they want to play it based upon the chronological order in which they actually have recorded it, or in the order in which they actually developed the song itself? So it's going to be up to you to think about that. The next thing is advertising. We're going to create a professional trailer to announce the upcoming showcase for each one of the artists, and that will be advertised on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and then also we're going to have a SHERO blog, and then of course it's going to be on the SHEtalk Radio blog and also the SHEtalk website. In addition to that, we're going to also have invitations on Facebook that's going to go out for you to be able to invite guests. Now, each artist will be able to invite 200, and then SHEtalk Radio is going to invite 200. So you'll have 400 guests that's going to be invited. It's going to be a documentary. So we want to invite as many people to hear it, but the most important thing is for you to be able to get your music out there, and then also to end up getting a finished product. You will be able to download this music, this recorded show, and to be able to take it wherever you'd like to take it. You'll be able to edit it and take out excerpts of what you need, anything that you think is relevant to whatever you're trying to do. Question for you, Auteria. Can you share with the listeners the benefits of having this documentary done?
Yes, I most certainly can. And I'd like to make a correction. The actual title of the song that was just played is Don't Judge the Book by Its Cover, not a book by its cover. I just want to make sure. That's okay, Miss Ruby. All good. To answer your question, the major benefit of having just a spotlight versus a showcase is your showcase can be considered an electronic live radio press kit, to where you can take this broadcast to media, whether it's radio, television, newspaper, any source of media format, to where the artist can represent the entire, basically their life history of who they are, their music, the people that were influential in their lives, whether it's mentors, teachers, anyone in society. So this gives you the form and the platform to be able to expand your advertising, your PR, your social media fan base, your super fan base, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and all the other social media websites. This will give you a complete platform where you can show the entire world exactly this is who this artist is within 90 minutes, and having everything from interviews to music to history, bio, everything that's associated with the person. And that, to me, will be setting a precedent in blog radio, for you are truly creating the vehicle, the flagship, the roadmap to programming that is really the first of its kind.
Well, I'm glad to be able to help indie artists. I just believe there's so much good music out there that a lot of us are missing simply because we're not at the right place at the right time. So SHEtalk is going to be the vehicle to allow the stars and the moon to align, to be able to make this available to all those who are willing to listen, and also to get the indie artist music out there. You know, in addition, what we're going to also have is international exposure. You got to remember, this is internet radio. International radio means the whole world has access to your music. in addition to that, with everything else Auteria said that we will be offering, what will also be included is a pre-recorded Q&A segment in which there will be questions asked that is going to share with the world other aspects of who you are based upon the questions that have been asked of you. And then there's another thing that we need to include is the fact that it's going to be 1.5 hours. There's a lot of things that you can share about yourself in 1.5 hours.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
so,
and also I would like to add one more thing. In the flagship broadcast, besides the 6 songs that is a part of the upcoming EP, also there will be possibly 2 to 3 songs of production work that I was very blessed, honored, and fortunate to do for other recording artists that will also be part of the documentary, and other artists that has the same background that has worked with others with whom they would want to share within the time frame. That can also be programmed also within the documentary.
Exactly. Is that including the song that you were given as a foundation where you start, and then where you start, and then where you take it and you add into it your ways of basically bringing it to fruition to make it a finished product? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, ma'am. I'm talking about that, as well as what you're calling a skeleton version of the
right.
song. We get, as artists, you get skeleton versions of a song to which you use that as your template to expand and create the actual song in production. And that is also going to be part of the broadcast. Also, as part of the broadcast, as I mentioned, will be other material that I have been very blessed and honored to do with other recording artists as the producer.
Okay. Well, that's pretty much all that I have to speak as far as the Indie Artist Showcase. We talked about the difference between the two. We talked about the advantages of it and exactly what you're getting when you get into getting a showcase together. Now, what we are trying to do is we're trying to book these showcases in advance so we can start working on them. As you know, there's a lot of work that's going to be done offline before we actually do the live show. So the earlier that you book your show, the earlier we can start advertising, bringing in your team for their question and answers, bringing in your team for the recorded interviews, and then also laying down what exactly we're going to do for the show. So I'm going to suggest anyone, any artists, any record labels, any promoters, any managers, and the artists also themselves who are interested in getting a showcase, please contact us. You can contact us through music@SHEtalkradio.com. You can contact me on my page, SHEtalk Radio. You can contact me on my page as Ruby Johnson on Facebook. You can also contact Auteria. And also you can send your music to let us know, what you're dealing with. And then, of course, not everybody's going to qualify. I'm putting it out there. SHEtalk Radio is about quality. Make sure you have what you consider a finished product. We want finished products. We want the quality there. We are not about just putting music out there for the sake of putting music out there. We have enough of that being done. What we want quality music out there, just like what you just heard. All different genres. The genre is not of essence. It's what is important. It's about the quality of the music. It's about the time that you're putting into it to make sure that it's a finished product. So that's pretty much it as far as what we've been trying to get together for you guys, creating a framework for indie artists to be able to go somewhere and share their music. So I want to thank my guests for being here today. We want to thank you, Auteria, and we want to thank
Erica
Michelle the Broken Heart Specialist, for being here today. We have the website out there. If you have any questions, you can send me an email at SHEtalkradio.com, or just hit me up on Facebook. But that is pretty much it. I want to thank everybody who listened today. We have just completed our yet another SHEtalk Radio episode, the radio show making a difference in communication. So get in on the conversation.